IZEA, a company formerly known as Pay-Per-Post, and essentially they match up people who are looking for bloggers to talk about their products with advertisers who are willing to pay for those blog posts, and they pay per post. They've recently launched sponsored tweets where you have an opportunity to make money by tweeting about people who are looking for tweets. Of course, they encourage full disclosure, and the FTC is mandating that starting in December. We need to disclose when we're paid for the blog posts or tweets when we're talking about products. Joe Jaffe on his podcast recently said he wanted the new iPhone, and he said he'll give away an episode sponsorship of his free podcast in exchange for an iPhone. He got one the first week, he got one the second week, and he went from an iPhone to a computer to a full-fledged sponsorship for his podcast just by opening up his free podcast and saying, I'll give you a show in exchange for an iPod. And we ask our listeners to call in on the 10 Golden Rules podcast with experiences of how they've used GoToMeeting. And GoToMeeting is a product that I love, and we use it all the time at 10 Golden Rules. And we ask GoToMeeting to sponsor the podcast, and all of the content is listener produced. People call in with examples of how they're using that product. Anyone have some innovative ideas of how they're doing content monetization? How you're using AdSense, affiliate banners? Go ahead.
In terms of information products, come to an event like this and get together with other people that you know, sit down in a room with a recorder and record it, and take that into either a podcast or convert it into like an ebook that you can turn around and sell.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great strategy. Come on up and grab a prize. Chris Brogan's new book, autographed by Chris today. Okay. Strategy number 5 I call micro-selling. And this is how you take these short little 140-character Twitter tweets and generate revenue. A company called Woot.com sends out a tweet every night at about 1 a.m. and they sell one product per day, and they also announce it on their blog. They have 1,331,000 people following them on Twitter, and they sell the product out normally by 10 or 10:30 the next morning. Woot.com is a multi-million-dollar business selling one product a day with micro-messaging. Now this works for small businesses as well. A company called Mission Pie out of San Francisco, a bakery. People were coming in and saying, hey, I want that apple pie that I had last week. And then they're a little disappointed that they don't have apple pie that day because they only bake the freshest fruits. It's a small bakery. So they started asking people to follow them on Twitter. And every morning, they send out little tweets like, hey, you, yeah, I'm talking to you. Keep this on the down low. We have strawberry rhubarb later today. Their sales are up 20%. Short little audio sound bursts. A site called 12 Seconds is gaining a little popularity where you can record a little 12-second audio. Quick, you can stream live to an audience. And Ustream is an example, came in from Nicholas Monarchy. And he's using Ustream to monetize their business by streaming live with little conversations. I'm going to wrap this section up with what I call the 3 E's of social media. The 3 E's of social media. Number 1 is educate. And Lee Rosen, Lee, are you here? Is an attorney who's become very, very popular blogging and Twittering. He has 19,937 followers on Twitter. And he's a divorce attorney. But one of the things he does exceptionally well is he educates. Here's a link to Divorce Disclosure, 3 things to do before disaster strikes. And here's a teen guide to divorce. So, I mean, the topic's not too pleasant, but the moral of the story is he's providing ebooks and content, free information, educating his audience. The second one is entertain. And Shaquille O'Neal is the most popular sports figure on Twitter with 2,400,000 followers. And he recently told the Yo Mama joke. He said, Yo Mama's so dumb that she went to an LA Clippers game to get a haircut. But he's funny, he uses his Shaq language, and he's very, very funny. So he builds a following. And my friend Mihai Foliaki, who's known as Iconic 88 out of Sydney, Australia, is engaging, and that's the 3rd E of social media. Create that two-way dialogue, and he's the most retweeted person in the world, the most retweeted individual in the world, and he does that by engaging people in a two-way conversation. So micro-selling is about building up your Twitter, building up your RSS feeds, people receiving your content through a feed, using some of the audio and video like 12 Seconds, Quick, and Ustream, and following the 3 E's of social media where you're engaging people, educating them, and entertaining them. Anyone have anything